Hey, what's up everyone? David here from Block Whisperers, and today what I want to show you is a multiplayer friendly home and set home command module for vanilla Minecraft. So anyone can do this. It just requires a few command blocks and a few other things which we'll go through in the video, and it means that the players on the server or even on a single player game can do the home and set home commands, so they can set themselves a home and then they can TP back to that home anytime they want. Okay, so first thing, let's do a demonstration of this so I can show you how it works. So I want to set a home on this green spot here. So as a player I need to do trigger, set home, set 1. Okay, and it says your home has been set here. To get back here, just type trigger home set 1. So I'm going to move over here now. So I want to TP back to my home, which is that green spot. So let's do that command. So let's do trigger. So instead of set home, it's home to get back to your home. Go. And then you have to press escape here to get past the credits. And then, boom, I'm on the green spot, which is my home. So, really simple. It's multiplayer friendly, so you can have loads of different people doing this at the same time and it won't cause any problems. And it is insanely simple. So let me show you that. So the first thing you need to do is add the scoreboard objectives. So there's 2 objectives you need to add, and they're both the commands there. So one is scoreboard objectives add, and the first one's called home, and it's a trigger, which means that the players can actually activate the score. Okay, so that's the first command. You press enter. Obviously I've already done this, so I've got that error message, but you won't get that. And then the second one is exactly the same, but instead of home it's set home. And there you go. So you've got both your scoreboard objectives in place. And then the next thing to decide is where you're going to put this little module in your world, and it actually matters. You're going to want this in your spawn chunks somewhere, because you want this to be active all the time, no matter where your players are in the world. Okay, so all this module is, and I built it in Bedrock so that people can't mess with it. But it is literally just an end portal, which we're going to TP the player to, and they're going to get pushed through this end portal. So I built this little case for it, Bedrock case, but all it is just a 1x1 tube with an end portal in, which you can't see from the bottom, but from the top you can see it. Okay, so we TP the player into there, and then they go over to the end, and then we do some other stuff in the end, which I will show you. So you're going to need some command blocks, and this is 1.9 snapshot, so I'm able to make use of the amazing command blocks in 1.9. This would be a bit more complicated in 1.8. So we've got 2 chains here. We've got one for set home and we've got one for home. Okay, and I've wrote on the signs what each command block does. So let's do the set home thing first. So the first thing we're going to do is, on a repeating command block, always active, we're going to execute to all players with a set home score minimum of 1. I'm going to do the spawn point for the nearest player as the command. So anyone with a set home score of 1 or above is going to have that command executed for them. And then the next one is the message, your home has been set, so that's a tellraw command. So we can do tellraw at all players with a set home score minimum of 1, and then some formatted text to say your home has been set here. To get back here, just type, and then in a different colour and bold, I think, and then the name of the command. And that's it for that one. and this is a chain block, and it's conditional, and it's always active. So these conditional ones will only execute if this bottom one is successful. And then the next one is a chain command block. It's conditional and it's always active. So the next thing we're going to do is scoreboard players set. So all players with a set home score minimum of 1, we're going to make their set home score reset back to 0. And then finally, to enable the players to actually do the trigger command, we have to run this command as well. So you're going to have a way of, when the players join your server, running this command for them so that they can use the trigger command. So every time this chain of blocks is successful, we're going to re-enable all players for the set home command for the trigger. So that's the set home part of it. The home part is a little bit more complicated, but doesn't require any more blocks. So the first one is we're going to TP all players with a home score minimum of 1 to those coordinates, and those coordinates you'll have to replace in your world depending on where your spawn chunks are. But those coordinates are actually inside this tube just above where the end portal is. So the player's going to get TP'd there and they're going to fall into that end portal. Okay, and the next block is a chain conditional block. We're going to use the tag system that's in 1.9, which is fantastic, really helps us. So we're going to do scoreboard players tag. So we're going to tag all players with a home score minimum of 1 with a tag called home. And you'll see why when we go through this portal. So anyone with a home score minimum of 1, we're going to give them the home tag. And then what we're going to do, the next block, which is also a conditional chain block, we're going to set any players with a home score minimum of 1, we're going to reset their home score back to 0. So at this point, they've still got a home tag, but their home score's already been reset to 0. And then lastly, the same as set home, we're going to re-enable the trigger command for all players for home. Let me explain to you what's happening here. So when you add, we've already done the set home, so if I do that command again, trigger, set home, set 1, that is this chain here. Okay, so that's set my home. Next thing I'm going to do is actually go to my home. So I've been TP'd into the end portal, and then in the end I've been TP'd again into another end portal, which is taking me to the credits, and then from the credits you escape and get back to where your home that you set was. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the end portal so I can show you what's in the end. Okay, so this is the spawn in the end. It's exactly the same as you would imagine. So what I've done here is we've got one command block just underneath spawn. It's a repeating, always active command block. So we're going to TP all players with a home tag within a radius of 5 of this spawn with the home tag. We're going to TP them to exactly the same coordinates. Just copy those coordinates so we can go there ourselves. So I can go there manually and show you what's there. So we're going to TP to those, and I'm just going to TP 5 blocks away so that I'm not directly in what we've set up here. So again, exactly the same thing. You fall into an end portal again, which gives you the credits and takes you back home. But here, what we've got to do, once the player's been TP'd here, so the player's got a tag of home, he's been TP'd to this place, or she, and we've also got another repeating always active block here, which is removing the home tag of all players around here. So the player gets TP'd to this point, home tag gets removed, but it's already too late because they're falling into the end portal and going back to their home. So that is the end of the story. So if I fall in here manually, I get the credits and I go back home. So what happens in the Nether? Well, that's really interesting. So what we have to do is we have to create one of these in the same coordinates in every world. So I need to do this, the same coordinates in the end, same coordinates here, and the same coordinates in the Nether. So that when the player gets TP'd to those coordinates, it doesn't matter which world they're in, they will always go into an end portal. So if they're in the Nether, let's do that. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, here we are. So, exactly the same. The only thing is you can't set a home in the Nether. And I've not worked out quite why yet, but it doesn't work in the Nether. But what you can do is go home from the Nether. So, okay, so if I trigger home set 1, which is the command to go home, exactly the same thing happens. And that's because in the Nether is another one of these in exactly the same coordinates. So that's really important for people who are going into the Nether. And that is it. It's quite simple, really. There are other more complicated ways of doing it without having to go through the credits and everything else, but the fact that this is so easy and it's very reliable as well, that's the other thing with a multiplayer server. You want everything to be really reliable. So that's it, guys. I mean, if you've got any questions, please let me know. Please put any comments below. Anything you want to see created with command blocks, please also get in touch. We love making things with command blocks. It's good fun. Okay, so thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.